Hello, dear listener. If you're hearing this, it means I'm dead. It's your old buddy Bill. Or maybe I'm saving the universe from a genocidal maniac who wants to cut its population in half, or maybe I'm saving orphans from a burning building. You never know. It could be any of those three. But in any event, emergency protocols have been engaged, and the fail-safe systems have activated, triggering the release of this here special episode. Not long ago, a mysterious little man named Agent Palmer and I sat down and prepped for just such a content-based emergency. This episode is called Bill Answers 50 Questions, because that's what happens in this episode. Agent Palmer, who can be found at agentpalmer.com, asks me 50 random questions. Because why not? So, without further ado, here's Agent Palmer asking me 50 random questions.
And we're recording.
Okay.
So this is how it's going to go, Bill. I've got 50 questions. They're in sections of 10, where there'll be 5 rapid fire this or that questions, and then 5 open-ended questions.
Okay.
And then we'll go back. That'll be round 1, and then there'll be 5 rounds, same thing, and we'll just keep going until
I win something?
We'll just keep going until you answer all the questions or until you kill me.
Okay. All right. I guess that's like a prize, right? Like, that's like if I could win something in a sense.
Yeah, you win something no matter what.
I like that. All right. I guess that makes it all worthwhile then.
It's something, right? It's something.
It's something. It's yeah. I don't know. I got nothing.
All right. So, Bill, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Read on a Kindle or a paperback book?
Oh, paperback book.
Good man. Man.
Support those trees.
Go to a play or a musical?
Tough call.
You have to go.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
I probably would say most likely a play. Depends on what the musical is.
Okay.
You might get me to a musical.
But it's more likely we'll get you to just a play.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So
that's safe to say.
So I'm going to tweak this question for a second, which is if it was go to a high school play or a high school musical, would that make a difference in your answer?
The musical. I'll see more real talent there probably. And it's less dialogue.
There you go.
That's what's rough at the high school productions is the dialogue, you know?
All right. Hike or bike?
Bike.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Trek. There's just I like Star Wars, but there's more stuff to watch with Trek, I guess, right? I don't know.
For now.
Yeah, that's
20
true.
years, that's going to be a whew.
Yeah, it's starting to add up already.
Where is your favorite place to eat?
I don't know. I guess home. Based on where I go and how often I go.
Yeah, but
I guess home.
Like, are you cooking in this scenario? Is somebody cooking for you? Like,
oh no, of course not, just me. But I guess you'd have to. Like, if you're gonna keep it general, then I'll probably say home. If you're gonna say dining out, then.
I mean, it's favorite place to eat. I mean, you could, I guess, in theory, just say living room.
Right.
It's pretty open-ended.
In the tub. I like eating in the tub.
Is that your final answer? The tub?
Yeah, the tub.
Okay. What childhood activity do you wish you could still do now?
Childhood activity. I wish I could hop fences like effortlessly. Like I don't mean like dive, like jump them. I just mean like not that I'm climbing fences all the time, mind you. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like it came to my mind. I was like, yeah, I remember when like jumping over like a short fence, like from yard to yard was
Yeah,
like
you
a
just
1-2 thing.
you put your hand on the top, you
Yeah,
plant your foot, and then you're over. No thought, no.
no thought. Or you could do the running like, and you plant your one hand on the pole
Yeah.
on the thing itself and just vault over, kind of. Like now that's a thing that feels like I just probably break something.
Okay. What TV show character are you most like?
Jeez. That can't be an easy question for anybody to ever answer. If it is, they have probably bigger problems than I do. Shit. I don't know. I don't know. Most like, jeez. Uh, I don't know if you ever saw Grounded for Life,
Yeah, I did.
but but it wasn't not Linoge, not the main guy, but like his brother-in-law, like that actor dude.
Okay.
I feel like I relate to that guy a little too much. He's not quite Jim from Taxi, but he's not quite Hawkeye from MASH. He's definitely somewhere like in between. I don't know. That feels right.
Okay.
I don't know what that guy's name is, but you've seen him in a million things. Like he's in Superbad. He's all over the place. That guy.
Would you rather be a jack of many trades or a master of one?
I guess at this point in my life, I'll settle for one. And you're laughing because you know me, but yeah, the whole like, oh, I dip my toes in a few different things. Yeah, that hasn't worked out really either. So maybe focusing on just one. Yeah.
Bill, follow up. What is that one?
Oh, aren't you a jerk? For putting me, you are literally putting up me on the spot on a personal level.
I am. I'm evil.
A creator, and I'll just leave it at that. You beat. I'm not giving you. I'm not giving you what you want right now.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But Bill, I will let you know you have jumped the first hurdle. We are done with the first 10.
Oh my God, this therapy session. Whew. All right. All right.
For those of you listening, that's what every conversation with Bill and I turns into.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
On one way or another. It's not always, All right. So, rapid fire number 2.
Ooh.
Play dodgeball or kickball?
That's how bad I am. I'm like, what's the major difference between the two of them?
You use your
kickball. Kickball is like you run around the bases, right? And dodgeball is just like everybody for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess dodgeball is more fun.
Swim in a pool or the ocean?
I guess the ocean.
Do you have a preference? Like the ocean near you or any ocean but the ocean near you?
That's why I hesitated. And I was like, maybe I should just pick one. Because in my head, I'm like, well, it depends on the ocean. What if it's a nice ocean? Is it the shitty ocean that surrounds my hometown? Or is it like something nice, like, where the water is blue? Instead of like...
That's exactly where I went.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, Aruba, this kind of thing. Yeah. Well, if it's the best of both worlds, if it's like that, it's like the best pool or it's like the best ocean, then I'll probably pick the ocean.
Okay. Would you rather act or direct?
Ooh, I'm starting to lean towards directing.
So if I had asked you this question 5 years ago, it would have been acting?
I don't know if I would have said that. I if I was given time to think, like, I probably would end up on directing back then too, because I think like secretly that's the thing that I see as an easier fit, because you can take the whole like, oh, I want to be artistic or creative, but that whole like me in front of the camera and being like performing and being put on the spot like that is different than like, oh, management kind of and multitasking. Like one seems like, oddly enough, directing seems easier. Like the pressures are different, like more manageable, like that kind of a thing. Like, you know,
I
none of
gotcha.
that performance fear is there. It's like this other kind of pressure. So maybe that's the reason why.
I have to go back because I skipped a question and I feel bad, but I feel
Oh
like
my God.
the only reason I skipped this question is because you made such a big deal about the previous one, and this one is going to break you.
Okay, go for it.
What's the funniest movie moment you've ever seen?
Funniest movie moment I've ever seen. Wow. You know what's funny? Like a lot of these questions, I bet like, you know, I've said this a million times, you know, about some scene, but like now that it's extra recall, like what is it? Like, oh man. So jumping into my head, it's kind of hard. Um, Jeez, man.
All right, how about this? I'm going to give you an out
Okay.
for a moment.
Okay. Whew, pressure. There's fucking pressure on this, man.
Give me a decade
A decade.
of the comedy movie that it would have been for, like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I
just,
don't even
you
know if
know,
that's, you know, necessarily
is that,
true. Like, because how does, you know, I mean, like, if I have no bearing on what movie it could possibly be of the movies I've seen, how could I tell you what year it's from? You know what I mean?
well, there are people that think that the 80s classic comedies are better than what was in the
Oh,
2000s.
well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I don't divide them up like that. Like to
Okay,
me,
all right.
it's almost like, you know, I tell you right now, it's probably a line of dialogue more than it's a like a scene or an action. Like, you know, it's probably not something from like a Home Alone, you know, or Three Stooges where it's physical stuff. It's probably like a witty turn of phrase or a line of dialogue that's like so like inside that's like, oh, I get that. Because that's the kind of stuff that really kind of gets me hardest sometimes.
I think that answers the
I mean,
question.
I hope. I hope somebody is satisfied with that.
Back to the where we were.
Mm.
Win the lottery or find your perfect job?
Win the lottery. Because then hopefully I can make the perfect job happen. Because winning the lottery doesn't guarantee that you'll never have to work again, you know? So
That's true.
start a business with it.
Watch sports or play sports? And yes, you have to do one.
Oh man. Oh. But I don't have to want to be doing either though, right?
No.
Okay,
But,
okay, okay.
you're
No,
going to watch sports or play sports,
no.
Bill.
It's gonna depend on the game, which way it'll really go in real life. But I would say maybe I would say playing. Not buying that.
No, everybody else is just like, wait, who is he interviewing again?
What's going on here? What is it? Is he lying on each answer? What is it? What's going on?
That's what he said. I mean, I never said you had to be truthful with
That's
any of these. So.
oh, wait a minute. I didn't know I could lie. All right.
Well, we prefer that you don't.
All right, fine. From here on, though. No. Because the other day I was thinking about like when I did used to play football in the neighborhood with some kids, like, you know, around like 6th or 7th grade. I only played for like one summer, like here or there, like, you know what I mean? But I was thinking about it. So I guess maybe because I was fresh in my head, I had fun with that. But
All right.
like, I'm not saying I played well by no
Well, it's
means.
not. Listen, none of us. Listen, everybody who played on like the street or
Yeah.
like the parking lot, none of us played well.
Oh, no.
There was
no.
always a good guy there, but he was always like the bench warmer on the actual team.
Right. Or it was kind of like, I think it was kind of like with my setup where like we had one kid who had a good arm. And so like, you know, he was always the quarterback and, you know, he was the kid that we all kind of were like, yeah, he's probably going to go somewhere. And then like he did something completely different. Like,
No, I'm just saying like the bench warmer gets all those other people who are not as good, so he can feel good about himself.
yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
All right, open-ended. We're back to open-ended.
Mm.
Who would you want with you if you were stranded on a desert island?
Ooh, any limitations like Living Dead?
Just says, who would you want
All
with
right.
you?
It's open. It's really open ended.
It's open. I feel like a dead guy might not be as useful, but I mean, go for it, Bill.
Stranded on a desert island.
Yep.
Bear Grylls. or some kind of survivalist, right? I mean, like, and
That's fair.
he seems nice enough. Like, we'd probably get along. At least until after I felt like I knew what I was doing, and then I might have to kill him and eat him. But I mean, only after he taught me how to prepare the food.
Gotcha. Wait, so I'm sorry, Bear. Could you repeat that? How do I cook human again?
Right. What's the internal temperature it needs to be? You have a thermometer?
All right. What junk food couldn't you live without?
That's a toss-up. Like cookies and ice cream, probably. Something like that. One of those two. Like, I'd have to have, you know... You can't make me choose between cookies and ice cream. Don't you dare. Sophie's choice.
I was just going to say, like, why can't you just make it like cookie ice cream?
Well, then fine then. Cookies and cream.
Hold on.
Fine.
All right, fine. But here's a follow-up, which is, what about like an ice cream cookie? Like,
I mean, I guess. Like
the ingredients are all there, Bill.
Like an ice cream cookie?
Yeah, like, the big ones. Like with the, 6-inch cookies.
Oh, the ice cream in the middle, like this cookie sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chipwich for life, baby. Like a real chipwich. Not that good humor bullshit where there's no chips on the sides. You gotta have the chips around the side.
Okay. All right.
And now that I'm thinking about it, like, ice cream sandwiches should have that too. Like, I don't know why those don't come with something, all around the edges. Anyway.
Bill, fixing food since whenever this episode aired.
I mean, think about it though for a second. A little tangent here. Like, they jack up everything now. Like, there's no more one kind of Oreos. It's 25 different kinds. I think ice cream sandwiches that have like just a basic kind of like brown cookie on top and bottom, they need to have something on the sides. You could put sprinkles on some. You could put toasted almond on some. Think about it. $1 billion idea. And you know what? While we're at it, dip them in fudge. Fuck it.
I mean, they already do that. It's just,
Yeah, I know.
All right. What's
Anyway.
your least?
I think we would. I think
we were done with that
sorry,
one.
go
So
ahead.
it's like, what's your least favorite food?
Okay.
Is there one? I guess.
I mean, who's got one? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess Brussels sprouts. Like, I never had Brussels sprouts done right yet. I know some people say like, oh no, you gotta be done right. And it's like, okay, well, I'm waiting for that day. I've tried, like I've had asparagus, like, that's a thing where it's like when it's done right, it's good. So I've had that experience. So I would presume that maybe somewhere in the world, someone can make Brussels sprouts to
that's
my
fair.
liking.
I say this, I would give it a shot.
Yeah, like I'm at an age now where like I'm not going to turn down something necessarily.
No, I mean, I would give it a shot trying to make them good for you.
Oh,
I like Brussels sprouts.
Like you would give that mission.
I mean, I would give that a shot.
All right, Bill, this time I'm dipping them in chocolate for you.
Well, yeah, well, that's like Plan C.
Well,
like that's after.
Well, that's what I said.
You don't just start with that one.
I factored that in. I did say this time. I started the line with this time,
true.
Bill.
True, but I felt like it was like, all right, that didn't work. Let's just go right to the chocolate.
Nah, because it's even more complicated than something else like a nice garlic butter bath, or something like that. Anyway,
that's what I would probably do with it.
you'd have to start with that, I think. If that doesn't work.
Well, if that doesn't work, Bill, which real planet would you visit?
That segue is it
Out of this world?
Well, am I upset about the Brussels sprout thing? Is that what? That seems like the segue turned it into that. So what was the question again? Exactly.
Which real planet would you visit? And you're just visiting. I'm not sending you there on a one-way trip.
I think Mars, because just because of the travel time.
Okay.
Because I feel like you can go to Mars and back in a lifetime, within your lifetime, but anything else is like, oof, it's a long trip. I think to go to the next one, at our current standards of travel.
All right. So if we changed it and it was like instant travel.
Oh, a little boom tube action.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all pretty cold, I bet. Like they all look a little chilly, a little far from the sun. But
you could go the other way.
What? I just go to Mercury? Or
Venus? You know, I mean,
Venus?
there are other options.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're all three. We're all three, right?
Yeah.
There's Venus. I forget. I forget about that Venus. Um, but yeah, Mars or Venus. I don't want to go too far from home.
Okay. Okay. All right, that officially does end round 2.
Oh, okay. I should ring the bell. Go on.
R2D2 or BB-8?
BB-8, because like when you kick him, he's gonna keep on going. R2, he's just gonna fall over like a clunk, like a thud, you know. And then like his little tread feet are just shaking back and forth, and you feel bad. But BB-8, you kick that fucker, he's gonna roll, and you're just gonna be laughing and laughing, watching him bounce off things like a ball in a pinball machine.
Hashtag droid rage.
Droid abuse was more like it.
All right, Bill, watch TV or read a book?
Watch TV and feel guilty about not reading.
Wow, that's deep.
That's true. Not for me, but for some people.
Laptop or tablet?
Yeah, laptop.
Camp in an RV or stay in a tent?
I haven't really done the RV thing, done the tent a lot. I'd like to try the RV. I'd say RV.
Use Facebook or Twitter?
Well, Twitter. I mean, if we're just going to just be real. Like, I have a Facebook. I don't use it anymore. At Wicked Theory on Twitter.
At Agent Palmer on Twitter.
Thank you.
I
figure that's what you got to do, right? I mean,
I mean, why not? I also have a Facebook that I don't use.
That's what people should do. Just like whenever Twitter comes up in a conversation, just give out their handles. Like that's like the thing you're supposed to do. Or something.
I'm going to do that from here on out.
Like anytime someone mentions, "Yeah, I heard Twitter stock is up." Hey, at Agent Palmer. If anybody's...
That would be great. I'm gonna start that now. That's gonna drive everyone I work with insane, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
And I'll do it too, and I'll recommend that to anybody listening. Have fun.
Hey, you know what? The worst thing that could happen, maybe you get another follower.
And depending on who the follower is, it could be bad.
Yeah, that's right. But you won't be able to complain about your boss anymore if your boss is following you on Twitter.
Oh, Jesus.
Bill, if you could do anything you wanted to right now, what would it be?
Accurately predict what the last question will be.
Would you like to make a prediction?
Put my guess in now?
Yeah,
my guess in now?
For the record, I have these set. I'm not changing them.
Fair enough. I think the last question is going to be bacon or Bosco. Yeah. It's going to be like one of those this or that's. And it's going to be bacon or Bosco. Or it's going to be bacon or Bosco related.
Okay.
So that's my prediction.
What animal do you most want to have as a pet?
I guess a ferret. Like if they just weren't jerks. Like ferrets are cute, but they're like. I had a friend who had 2 of them, and like they're just little jerks. Like they, even if you take out the glands, they still kind of smell a little bit, which you can kind of deal with, but not really. And but they steal stuff. Like like he moved his bed.
Hold on. They steal stuff for you or from you?
No, well you've seen Beastmaster. No. Well, that's the thing. Like in that movie, they steal stuff for him, but in real life, they just steal it from you. So, like my friend, eventually, like when he moved his bed, he found like remote controls and cigarette lighters and like all kinds of stuff like stashed under there that he had been looking for months.
So you want a jerk for a pet?
If they weren't jerks, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I guess,
All right. I'm sure there's one non-jerk
right
out
there's one
there
cool...
just for you.
Right, there's a cool one somewhere.
Where do you most want to travel but have never been?
I don't know. I guess I'm a loser. I don't have a place. Um, I don't know, but maybe like Hawaii always sounded interesting. Maybe see some of volcano shit. Maybe before they were erupting like they are, I think still.
They're always
Back when they were,
I mean,
right, but before that, it seemed like, well, that's a cool kind of crazy, the most extreme real world thing you could probably go check out. You know what I
I
mean?
hear Iceland is the same thing.
Mm.
They always
Okay,
have
well,
an
fair
active
enough.
volcano as well.
That's true. I mean, it's not the only one in the world, but I figured
I mean,
I wouldn't have to worry about
it's
anybody kidnapping me in Iceland either, I guess.
yeah, it's not like you want to go to Vesuvius, you know.
Mm.
Although I feel like that one would be safe now.
Right. Well, that or like maybe the springs in Yosemite. I have a friend who went and checked that out, and he had a lot of really wild pictures from that, and maybe something like that.
All right.
Something natural. Go see some natural wonder of the world type thing.
All right. Who is your favorite author?
We'll just say Stephen King for now, without having to get into me wandering too far and parsing it out. But
Okay, well, let's
we'll
let
just
you
say.
wander and parse out the next question, which is what is
Okay.
your favorite book?
It's tough. It's tough, but I used to always say The Great and Secret Show.
Love that. Love that.
And by Clive Barker.
Have you reread it recently?
Is this a setup? Yeah, but I fell off halfway through. I got to pick it back up again.
I was gonna say, well, I only bring it up because, as you know, because I bothered you and badgered you as I reread it, or as I read it, I read Everville, which is the follow-up to The Great and Secret Show.
Right.
And you and I talked about The Great and Secret Show. And one of my fears of The Great and Secret Show is it's such an epic read the first time you read it that I feel like maybe that second read doesn't help you.
Well, did I tell you what was happening to me? Is that I started breaking it down in my head as a TV show. I started to see the whole Netflix 10 episodes a season type deal. And I was like, yeah, okay, this up to here can be just season 1. You know what I mean? And it's just it's like the first third of the book. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is one of those kinds of books. But actually, I'm having fun. And it is pulling back some of that mystique a little bit. And I also have to keep in mind, when I first read it, I was young, very young. So it's a lot of stuff we see and are exposed to when we're young, because it's so new to us, even though there's a million other things probably out there that it's taking from or is it's just new to us. So it's amazing. It's like when you're 6 and you see some crazy movie, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then somebody in the other room's like, it's just like this, it's, it's a retelling of Frankenstein, or whatever. Yeah, so Great and Secret Show, I would say easily. I'll maintain that for now. Jeez, I lost you a while ago, huh?
No. I've been here the whole time.
Okay.
And it all recorded that.
Okay, good. Every now and then, give me a little just so that
Okay. All right, fair enough.
As soon as I wrap.
All right. All right. Bill, 20 questions left.
Oh boy. How many did we go through so far? I'm not here for math.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say this. I asked you a bunch of follow-ups, so at least 30.
Right. 30 plus. Gotcha.
30 plus. Armageddon or Deep Impact?
I guess Deep Impact. Armageddon's got all the money, but it's schmaltzy. It's got that whole Aerosmith fucking kind of glossy vibe to it going on. It's that Michael Bay early, it's plasticky. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think that's still Michael Bay, but okay, if you want to say Michael Bay.
Right? Yeah. He's not evolved
not. I mean,
past
come on.
the lens flares and the slight grit to the films. Yeah. No, you're right on that. But that's the one I think the Aerosmith annoys the fuck out of me, and like it tries so hard. It's trying too hard almost too. Like it's
Bill,
trying. Yeah. Go ahead.
you can be honest with us. You like Deep Impact because it actually hits the earth. Like, come on, be real.
Well, let's put it like this. Like, I hate Armageddon so much that I could barely remember any reason to like Deep Impact more than that, but I did anyway.
Okay.
Like that's the telling thing. Like I didn't even remember that Earth gets fucked up in Deep Impact. You're right, though. Good call. Next question.
Own a houseboat or a speedboat?
Okay. Houseboat. It just seems like there's more to do.
I mean, if you're gonna be a thief, Bill, go with the speedboat. But otherwise, you're just gonna be chilling, right?
Yeah, I'm past my thieving phase.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna be a Bond villain anytime
No,
soon.
there's no more. I grew out of jewel heisting.
Okay.
Young man's game. That's a young man's game.
Jewel heisting, the verb.
Yeah. Heistery.
All right. Well, speaking of a young man's game, go climbing or zip lining?
It just says climbing, like rock climbing, I guess.
It just says go climbing or zip lining. So if you really want me to break it down, go up or go down.
Because I can climb stairs pretty well still. I'll take zip lining. That feels safer.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
How do you take it?
Light and sweet, or just or with just the French vanilla creamer. You know, because you don't need to add anything to that.
You know what? For some reason, I always thought of you as a hazelnut guy.
Oh no! I default to the French vanilla, but I'll take hazelnut.
Okay. Would you rather have have a night out or an evening in?
I'm pretty much a homebody, so I have to say I'll default to that because the evening out's all going to depend on what's the plan, Stan. You know what I mean? So, just to keep this short, that's my answer. I'll just say evening in.
What was your favorite activity in gym class?
Sitting on the bench, being unprepared. Being one of those 5 guys that's up there every period. Like every time you have gym, you know, there's people who just never participate. That's me, man. I was that guy. Like never had a gym shirt on purpose. Like, you know what I mean?
I forgot my shorts.
Because it's like, fuck you. Like a gym shirt? Like, I don't know about you, but you had to buy if you didn't have a gym shirt, you couldn't participate in gym. But the gym shirt is a shirt that the school sold. So what the fuck is that? That's a scam. That's a scam.
No, we got we had gym shorts and gym shirt, right? But as long as you had a red shirt and red shorts, they were acceptable.
Say, and that's not cool because like we didn't have an out in my school. But you know, let's not get into that. Let's not get into an academic argument.
Fair enough.
About gym. Yeah, go ahead.
Who is your favorite Disney villain?
What were you going to say?
I feel like I need to change that question.
Well, we can just say Disney specific. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, who's your favorite classic Disney villain? Is what I want to change it to. But it technically is just Disney villain. So, Bill.
Yeah, I wouldn't branch that out to Marvel or anything if that's what you mean. No. I would leave that as just, you know, Disney movies. If it's a Disney movie, it's a Disney movie. They didn't do the Grinch, right? It's somebody else.
They did not, actually.
Right. I don't know, because I don't know if I have like a particular standout for that. Was Willy Wonka a Disney movie? No. I guess maybe I don't have one in particular.
No, I mean off the top of my head, there's the evil witch.
Yeah, I thought about that from
There's
Cinderella. And I was like,
Maleficent.
meh. I was like,
There's
meh.
Jafar.
Yeah.
There's I don't know. Is there even a villain in Dumbo? I don't know.
I think just humans are the villains in Dumbo. Maybe I'll say Scar because at least with that, it's like that's kind of dark for a Disney movie, and you know, um, we'll go from Scar from Lion King or something like that. Who's the
All
villain in
right.
Toy Story? You know what I mean? That's Pixar, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Okay. What was the first concert you ever saw?
First concert I ever saw, I think, is technically Metallica, the Black Album tour.
Really? Who was playing with him?
I think I don't even remember, to be honest with you, because it was probably one of those things where we didn't go in, and it was me, my brother Bob, my brother Dave, and I kind of screwed up buying the tickets. Like I was one of the first guys outside the place to get the tickets. It was like Ticketmaster, like you got to be first one there, man. And so like the guy who was like outside keeping an eye on, he's like, I know you four guys are like the first ones here, and I didn't realize like they were gonna go on sale like within minutes. So I walked over and I got something to eat. Came back and everybody was gone. So we didn't have shitty seats, but like they weren't close,
Well, I'm just gonna say it probably wasn't a guns show because most of those ended in riots.
Yeah, I almost want to say they were on tour by themselves, but I don't think that's true.
No, it was when that album first came out. They were.
They did do a solo tour kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like they were like
it was probably
halfway through the Black Album tour when they
Okay.
were like, "Yeah, let's put him with guns."
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it
that
didn't
makes
start
more-
out that,
Okay.
and it definitely didn't end that way. Bill, what does your perfect day look like?
I wake up. I scratch my ass. You want the whole day or
I mean,
like minute by minute?
I'm riveted so far.
That's what I mean. Like I figure this is so far so good, right? It'd be pretty captivating. No, a perfect day is being equal parts having fun and being productive. You know what I mean? So that it's the best of both. You don't at the end of the day feel like, oh, I didn't get nothing done, and like you literally got to have some fun. Like you did something good, or you enjoyed yourself for a good part of the day. And so you go to bed feeling happy. Any day that you can go to bed and not feel like, oh, I wasted the day is a good day.
All right.
Right?
I'm down with that. Bill, what is the one thing that should be taught in school that isn't already? I mean, for those of you, while Bill is thinking, for those of you that are wondering why this is so hard for Bill, it's because he didn't spend much time in school to
Right.
know what's not already being taught there.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the baseline? Like, I don't even. No, you know what? Like, just probably more like real life, hands-on stuff that like stuff like like they would used to call like home ec, but they would cover stuff like how to balance a checkbook and like how to budget and not just money management, which wouldn't be a bad idea in and of itself. But
Yeah, they don't
just-
do any of that at all.
Yeah, but just maybe stuff kind of like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like when I was in one school, they actually, because we were like in a basic math class, they were using, they found it was easier to teach math to most of these kids if we were talking about money. Like for whatever reason, everybody seemed to pay more attention when we were talking dollars and cents. You know what I mean? So, but like, in general, like that's kind of like in that room was kind of like where we learned about those kinds of things, and that was something that they used to say. Like otherwise, you guys probably would have never had someone show you any of this. You would have had to ask your parents when the time came, or figure it out on your own, or
Yeah, when you're penniless and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, how do I balance this fucking thing?
mean, don't get me wrong. Nowadays, you can just go to YouTube probably and be like, "How do I balance a checkbook?" All right, 5-minute video. Here we go.
Well, except nobody has a fucking checkbook anymore, Bill.
Well, you're not writing paper checks out.
I am actually, and I get
for rent. I do it for
hooked
rent
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do it for rent. What are you doing it for? Got to be, some of your house bills, no?
I have to pay some city stuff, and the city doesn't have any electronic form of payment.
Sure.
So.
As long as you're not doing it at the supermarket checkout line.
No.
Remember those days?
Nothing is worth. Nothing is worth that.
That
Nothing.
shame, that public ridicule. All right, what do we got next?
We got the final 10 questions, Bill.
We're into the final 10.
I mean, plus whatever else I decide to add. How about this one? Easy. Marvel or DC?
Just take Marvel. Just make this conversation easy. Marvel.
Okay.
We won't get into it all.
Crash with friends or stay in a hotel?
Crash with friends.
Visit Europe or Mexico?
Am I crashing with friends or am I staying in a hotel?
It says visit Europe or Mexico. Bill, all you have to do is set foot in either and you visited. You don't have to stay. It doesn't say stay.
That's true.
Visit. You can just go to Texas, jump across the border, and come back.
But Europe isn't any one particular place, right? That's like all of it?
It's like all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so but then I'd have to bounce around. All right, so we'll just say Mexico, it's closer.
Okay. Travel by plane, train, or automobile?
To Mexico? There's no line of
No.
Okay.
No.
Don't make a story out of it. Just keep moving.
I don't know where you're going by plane, train, or automobile, but I presume you would need to figure out where you're going.
Think about it. I'm going to Mexico to stay at a friend's house.
Okay.
That's the last 3 questions. But a plane, train, or automobile?
Yes.
Well, I'll take a train. I never did a long train ride.
Okay. And who's your friend in Mexico that you're staying with?
I don't think that's the next.
That isn't the next question. It's just
Gunther.
Ooh, Gunther. Nice.
Gunther.
Bill, would you rather produce a blockbuster movie or a hit television show?
Fucking Sophie's choice with these things. Jeez Louise. Hit movie or hit TV show, basically?
Yep.
TV show. Because that's going to last a little longer.
You know
like
what?
In the end, you get 2 seasons maybe. It's a little bit more of a paycheck.
I've stayed out of giving you my answers, right?
Oh, okay.
For the whole thing, but I want to tell you on that one particular, I went blockbuster movie because I could move on to the next project faster. Because if you got roped into a Big Bang Theory's on like 12, and then there's like Cheers with like 15, and Supernatural with 24. Like I wouldn't like if you have a hit television show, like Walking Dead seems like it's never going to end.
Yeah.
So.
But if you look at some of these guys like Noah Hawley or some of these other producers or Brian Fuller, like they do like 3 shows. You know, they set them up and they move on.
No,
like,
that's fair. I mean?
So, and they just kind of keep tangentially involved, and you know, at the big season points, they help map it out, and then they take a walk. So that sounds like fun too. Okay. So hey, man, like you never know. One could parlay into the other easily anyway.
That's true. All right, Bill, the final 5, except whatever I decide to add on.
Okay.
What would you do first if you were the president of your own country?
I'd say if anybody wants to leave, now's the time. Just cause if making anybody nervous, you can go, no big deal. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'd kind of like we'd just kind of like copy like a lot of America's laws. That's the first thing we would do. Just copy a lot of those, and probably most of them, and make some really overdue tweaks and changes. Yeah, that's the first thing.
By the way, in my head, for some reason,
Mm.
I imagine that you somehow annexed Staten Island from the rest of the country, and you're like, "This is mine. I claim this in the name of me."
Just totally deject my hometown and be like, "Fuck you guys! You never did nothing for me anyway." Just shut them all off. Like, no, I'd move them all off, and we just make like Staten Island like a prison, like how like in Escape from New York, it was Manhattan, but like Manhattan's too small. Like you can't get the whole country's prisoners in there. But Staten Island, you might fit a good chunk.
All right, Bill. I know you're not lying on the couch, but you're going to feel like it when I ask you this next question.
Mm.
What is your biggest success up until now?
My biggest success up until now is waking up every morning and going on. No, it's tough. I guess, you know, some people would say it was getting to be on TV for like 20 minutes. But I always kind of go back to Clive Barker, who we mentioned already. You know, I was in a small writing contest, and it was like, you know, he was the judge and the guy who set it all up. It was a story starter thing, and we all submitted chapters, and so he got to read some of my stuff and picked one of my entries to be the last chapter in the thing and put the wrap on it. You know, so that was pretty cool. That's always been a personal high point.
I think that has to be your personal high point because it's the one you don't shy away from.
Yeah.
Versus every time somebody brings up, "Hey, Bill, weren't you on a show once?" You're like, "Oh, fuck this again."
That's true. That is pretty telling.
Yeah.
That's pretty revealing. But yeah, I'd say it was that.
All right, Bill. On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are?
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm bananas. That's how funny.
Nice.
I'd say I'm a modest 5.5.
Ooh, really?
Oof.
Just a 5.5?
Just over half.
Okay.
Kind of leave room for other people, man.
All right.
It's all subjective anyway.
That's true. If you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh.
I love how he starts laughing with "if you had a warning."
Right. And then I have nothing. Like my mind's going too many places.
So automatically you become like a cigarette warning label where there's like a lot of fine print that you can't read.
Right. Yeah, I'd say well, contents are hot. I know.
Okay.
I got nothing good for that. Means well but fails often. You know, so, something self-deprecating, but not too woe is me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, and now Bill, the final question, the last question.
Whew, thank God. Yeah.
What is one question you want to ask me right now?
That can't be the last question. Well, that's the class. That's my last. That's it. Is that really the last question?
That is really the last question.
Then I guess we're done here.
We're done here. Thank you, Bill. This was fun.
Well, it was.
I need to come up with another 50 for you.
Yeah, well, yeah. It didn't take as long as I thought. I'll say that. You know.
I never said it would be painful. I mean, I never said it would be short or long, something. I never said anything.
That's true.
I just asked the question and let you hang yourself.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's pretty much the game, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's just
Just-
how this works.
yeah. But no, this was fun. This was cool. We should do it again
We
sometime.
should.
We should.
Uh,
I feel like we do this quite often now.
we do, but it's
It's-
just not recorded for other people to hear.
Right,
I
right,
call
right.
Bill-
This is exactly what you.
Well, I mean, in fairness, and this is going to date it, so I won't use any titles, but 3
Hmm.
of the last 3 books I have read included a name drop of Staten Island, and I called Bill every time.
To kind of verify.
be
Is this a real
Hey,
place?
Bill, let me read this to you.
Have you ever heard of Silver Lake? I'm like, yes. As a matter of fact, it's not far from me.
So,
You should go check the trees. Spies are dropping stuff there.
well, they were in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Hey. Well, Bill, I want to thank you for allowing me to record one of our normally fairly private conversations.
Right, right. There's nothing better than getting random questions from you. So might as well let the whole world hear it.
That's absolutely true. And usually, as is the case with our phone calls, I kind of just sit back and let you go.
Yeah.
It's like my own personal podcast. I just call up Bill and he talks.
You have threatened to record them. You have said we should be recording
I
these."
have said that.
And I always say, really? Should we?
Actually, that's not true. There were 2 specific conversations in
That's
which
true.
Bill was like, we should have fucking recorded this.
Yeah, there were two. There were two times.
But they were very podcasty.
Yeah, but also too, like that's 2 out of like I can't even tell you how many thousands of calls it is now.
Yeah, it's definitely thousands of calls at this point.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be several hundred.
So the fact that you still wanted to sit down and talk to me was a thrill
and a surprise.
and a treat.
Aw. Aw. All right, well, I think we're done. Then.
We're done. Yeah,
All right, so that's that.
that's that.
Oh, yep. That was that. So, what do you guys think of that? You know, you could tell us all about it in an email if you want to. Did you think this was worthwhile? Was this worth your time? These 50 questions? Did you appreciate them? Well, if you did, follow Agent Palmer on Twitter. Check out his website, agentpalmer.com. And if you listen for a little bit here, you're going to hear Paula tell you where you can find our show and all that stuff. But what she's not going to tell you is to check us out on Spotify, in addition to all those locations. And if you want to support the show, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/Wicked Theory, or check us out on Teespring and get some merch. Go to teespring.com/Wicked Theory Shop and pick up a shirt. It doesn't. We got stuff besides the show logo. A lot of cool original images. So check it out over there, kids. And we'll see you soon. And thanks for listening.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.